It wasn't as risky growing up.
Well, it was risky because you started dating a guy that loved camping, and like on the second date goes out to the middle of the wilderness and goes camping with him.
Oh, well, yeah. I've reflected on that. That was sketchy. That could have definitely ended poorly. That's kind of like how scary movies happen, but I don't know. For me, I've always just relied, even whenever I wasn't like deep into the faith and into the religion, I always relied on my intuition. And being a baptized Catholic, that's the Holy Spirit. I mean, regardless, even if you walk away from the faith, you already have the Holy Spirit with you, right? Like, isn't that how that works? So plus you have your guardian angel. And so I think once you're a baptized Catholic, it's like you have access to those things. So, I always just from the secular perspective, I always just call it my intuition. But who knows? It could have been my guardian angel. It could have been, the Holy Spirit trying to lead me in the right direction, steer me away in those moments or guide me on the right path. But yeah, because I never got when we started dating, I never got the impression, yes, I did think about logic, oh, well, that might be not a good idea. But my intuition didn't tell me otherwise. So I chose to follow it. Now, there have been other times where I was more so I was just going with the flow out of fear. Like we were in Kentucky and I jumped into that man's van.
That's different. That was the same exact story, but literally with somebody
with a real
we
stranger.
Just met. So
yeah, that was sketchy.
Yeah, I'm wrenching underneath the Jeep in Kentucky, and my car is one of the cylinders is misfiring, and I'm trying to. I was trying to change the starter because I couldn't start my car.
Yeah, we were stuck in Kentucky.
Yeah. So I'm underneath the car. She's just waiting in the passenger seat. It's starting to pour rain. This guy comes to help us in a white van, and before you know it, he's making small talk. I'm still underneath the car. We acknowledge him as a friend, but it went from 0 to 100 real quick when he said, "Hey, it's lunchtime. You guys got to get something to eat. Have you eaten, darling?" I'm like, "No." Well, you're like, "No," but I'm still wrenching. I'm not thinking twice about it. It's like, let's go to McDonald's. I'll take you. And you went. I'm still wrenching. We didn't think about this until afterwards.
Yeah, and in the moment, no, I thought about it in the moment, but again, that's why I said I was just acting out, just going with the flow out of fear, I guess, because in that moment, I remember thinking I'm in a weird situation. This older man is talking to me, trying to get me to go get food with him, and I didn't feel comfortable speaking up for myself in that moment, which now I feel I would just be no, sorry, stand my ground, I'm not doing that. But, I wasn't in that headspace back then. So I was just oh, I don't know what to do. I just felt awkward. And I was hoping that you would speak up and intervene. But then you were, and I'm not putting the blame on you at all, but it was just a moment. The moment was just one of those things. And you were wrenching and working on that. And so I was just I remember in that moment, I was just well, okay, I'm going to just go with it, I guess. And, I got in the van and I just I did say another prayer. I said a prayer when I got in the van and I did little oh, wait, I think I forgot. And I tried to open the door and make sure there wasn't child's lock on it. And there wasn't. So I was okay, and then I was just well, Jesus, take the wheel. Literally, that's what happened. It turned out that he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, you came back.
I came back alive and well.
God, for sure.
May God bless him, truly, because
yeah,
he really was. He was a father himself, and he was just telling me about his children and his journey. And
well, for a Dominican, Puerto Rican, and a Filipino to get stuck in the middle of Kentucky near land between the lakes. Frickin', redneck country